Ronaldo. So Random Kitty starts his first flying lap of the session here in France here for Tier 2 of the Racing Super League Round 4, as he also invalidates, so that's going to come to an end. Next we'll watch with 2 Magnus on board as he's going to be hopefully the first person to set a flying lap without invalidating. Wasn't here last week, was here in Portugal, I don't think was here in Singapore either. He's hoping for a good result here today. He has his teammate of B. Anders behind him. Through the chicane very nicely indeed. Now onto the long right-hander of turn 11. He's going to head to the line now. Here goes to Magnus, and it's a 132.3. B. Anders up next. B. Anders can't go quicker than that. So Random Kitty has picked up a penalty for a collision with Marshy. Essence Acid is coming to the end of his first lap now at the moment, through the final corner. What will it be for Essence Acid? It's going to be only enough for P3. J. Crow has invalidated his lap. Marshy has got Random Kitty right behind him, and Random Kitty isn't on a fast lap, so you want to just kind of back off there. Marshy is, see what he has to offer. He seems to have abandoned that as well. See, it's on a hot out lap. The 2 Aston Martins are going fast, but I think haven't validated, or maybe I think B. Anders is going for a second run here. Seems to have good, decent DRS storage. No, probably isn't. Random Kitty going very aggressively there, and Marshy only going to the pit side. Marshy has, I think, lost the car. And B. Anders has gone on another run, or 2 Magnus has gone on another run. He has enough fuel in the tank, thinks he will have enough. Ooh, kind of hesitates a bit there. That's not going to help. He's not even into 8th gear as he starts his lap, which means he's going to be a lot slower. So now Essence Acid 7 seconds down, he's only on an in lap. J. Crow completely invalidated, and was cut right through the chicane. interesting. Leander's on a lap at the moment. Very low ERS, goes a little bit wide there through turn 11. See what he has to offer now through the final corners of the track. RSL Silk is going to come to the line at the end of his lap. He's going to go P5. S8 is only at the start of a lap there at the moment. Brandon Kitty on an out lap. Marshy about second down, so he's not on a lap. And there's the same RSL. So S8 is the only one on a lap at the moment. Moving in the pit lane, it seems to be Quintita coming out for his first lap. He's in the Mercedes. Supposed to be in the Haas, but forgot to pick a team, but that should be alright. So here he goes. Here comes S8 now. What kind of middle sector has he set? 51.7, so not as quick as 2 Magnus. Magnus has set a really good lap time. Indeed, it's going to be a tough one to beat for the rest of the field. We'll see what Pentita can do about that now as he comes out on his out lap. But Essence Acid's teammate, the Ferrari duo, have had a good partnership together, and we'll see now. Here's hopefully an Aston Martin if Leander's getting out of the way. Does. Hasn't really affected S8's lap here now as he comes till the end of the final turn now. What can S8 do? To the line he goes. It's enough for P3, just ahead of his teammate. Not a bad lap at all. RSL Silk just ever so slightly down on his time, and maybe he's going to gain some time here through the final sectors now. DRS activated. To the line goes RSL Silk. Has he improved? Hasn't. He's still lost out some time. Seems to be a Ferrari going slow. I think that's Essence Acid. Here's Random Kitty now. Has finally kept the lap valid now as he's going through sector 3. Turn 12 there. Almost had to rotate the car 3 times to try and get that right, but he's managed to get it somewhat right here now as he comes to the final turn now. Gets that absolutely perfect. And here he goes now. Random Kitty to the line he goes. It's P3 for the Williams reserve. Petite on an out lap. Essence Acid just going slow, trying to get in the right pocket of space. 2 Magnus also the same. Petita's gone. Essence Acid is also gone. And Silk has ran out of fuel. So we'll keep an eye here now on Petita's lap. I think the championship leader still at the moment. We'll see what he has to offer. He hasn't validated. So behind him is my Marshy's on an out lap, and then it's Essence Acid. Essence Acid has invalidated. 2 Magnus is also invalidated, so most of the drivers here at the moment are invalidating their lap times. I'm actually getting set up for another lap Pintita, I'm guessing, will probably be the same. Either that or he's into the pits and he'll be out one more time. Nope, he is turning the final corner. He is going to go again. We'll see now. J. Crow is on a hot lap, so we'll keep an eye on him, see what the AlphaTauri has to offer on his debut here in RSL. Heads now down towards turn 10. It's the fastest middle sector of 50.5. That's very good indeed from the AlphaTauri driver. We see now he heads through turn 11. Probably the most difficult corners on the track. Can he keep it valid? I think he has. So far so good for the debutant, as he's going to head now the penultimate corner, as he just manoeuvres it absolutely spot on. It's been an astonishing drive so far from the AlphaTauri driver, as I've picked up on him there at the end of sector 2. We'll see, is it going to be provisional pole position? It is by a mile. What a lap that is from the AlphaTauri driver. Now, can Pintita do anything about that? He hasn't set quite the middle sector, but has shown he is a driver that can really come alive in the final sections of the track. And we'll see now as he heads through turn 12 what he has to offer. Now, as the ERS has ran out and his fuel seems to be running out too, I don't know whether or not he might just come into the pits, but he's not. He's going to keep going, which means that this will be his final, more than likely his final lap of the session, unless he's out nice and quick. We'll see what Pintita has to offer now. To the line he goes. It's P3 just behind Magnus. So I'm Marshy also on a lap. We'll see what he can do now as he heads out of the final corner. Essence Acid just into the pits there, and Marshy goes up into P4. S8 is starting his final flying lap. B. Anders is also going to be starting his final flying lap, and then J. Crow just on his in lap at the moment. Nope, he's saved enough fuel. He's going to go again. See what J. Crow can do now. Looks like his fuel is running out. Maybe it's just because he's in low fuel mode. Across the line, still in low, still has very little fuel. So we'll see whether or not he runs out or not. Probably could have came back in there, but oh, and he's lost it. So already a mistake because he's lost the car. So it doesn't really matter for him. RSL Silk to the end of his lap now at the moment. Must have made some sort of mistake because he's lost out there. Pintita is managing to get back around in time into the pit lane. Will he get out in time? Marshy the exact same. Anders forgot about that. He's just set a lap there and he's gone P2, overtaking his teammate. Not a bad lap at all, but still a long way off J. Crow. Random kitty. Starting a lap, I think, at the moment. Essence Acid will be the same, and RSL Silk is 4/10 up. There's a chance here to possibly put himself ahead of Essence Acid. Very little ERS though, and I'm guessing Essence Acid is probably going to just move out of the way here for him. He's going to take his time because he doesn't also want RSL Silk in the way of his lap. We'll see now what the Red Bull has to offer through the final corner now. Ooh, bit wide. but it seems to be okay. DRS activated. RSL Silk, end of qualifying, and it's enough for P7 as Essence Acid starts his final lap, and the next person to the line will be S8, who's 2/10 up. Could possibly be enough to push him into the 132s and into the top 5. We'll see what his Sector 3 has to offer. Through turn 12 now into 13 and 14, the penultimate corner. And now into the final corner now. This is where laps can be completely ruined. And he's gone very, very slow into it. He's obviously made some sort of mistake. And he's going again for one more lap. 2 Magnus has invalidated, but he's kept a good fuel load. And a lot of ERS battery means that now with 10 seconds remaining, he is off. And he is starting his final flying lap. Pintita did not come out of pit lane. Can Random Kitty... No, this is the end of qualifying now. Random Kitty, to the line he goes. Can he improve? He can enough just to get ahead of Marshy, who couldn't make it out of the pit lane in time. RSL Silk's going to get out of the way of his invalidated lap for Essence Acid, who's 2/10 up. He's going to need to improve a lot more than that if he wants to get out of 9th position. The Ferrari's not having a qualifying to remember at the moment, as Essence Acid now comes through the penultimate corner and into the final corner. Can he improve? Can he at least get himself up near the top 5 or even just ahead of his teammate Essence Acid now to the line? It's going to be a 1:33.1, and that is enough to get himself into 7th, with RSL Silk finishing next across the line to S8. He's also finished. 2 Magnus has invalidated. That is the end of qualifying. J Crow running away with it there in P1. Aston Martin's lockout 2 and 3. With Pintita, the championship leader, I'm pretty sure. Either that or I think it could be JRR. He's in P4 with Random Kitty in P5. Marshy P6. Essence Acid P7. Silk P8 and S8 unable to improve and has to settle for last place. Ten people watching this stream. Jesus surprised your attention span can go this long. Whoa. Tier 2 has been desperate this season, but sure, we've 9 drivers tonight, which is, I think, enough myself to go for the stream. It hasn't been a bad night so far, to be fair. So everyone's starting on the hards except 2 Magnus has gone for the mediums. Now SA has somehow managed, and obviously Random Kitty with that penalty means he's dropped back to P9. So SA has managed to somehow get himself disqualified. He'll be starting with stone cold tyres on the hards. We'll see what J Crow is made of, what a qualifying he had, and we'll see what he can do in the race if he can get a bit quicker. And based on his pace in qualifying, he really could be a future star in RSL Tier 2, maybe compete with the likes of Back 2 and JRR. We'll see how that plans out throughout the season. "27 laps await us." 27. Let me do the maths because I don't know. France starting in about 20 minutes. We're racing in France, quite ironically. 1.5 multiplied by 27. About 40 minutes, so I'm going to miss the first 20 minutes. That's not that bad. Let's see what these guys are made of. J Crow in the final corner, and he's going to take his time to try hold up that field, get them in nice and close. So he starts on the warmest of tyres. Random Kitty definitely more than 10 car lengths behind and may receive a penalty for that. So let's see what France has to offer here for RSL. It's 5 red lights. It's lights out and away we go. That's 2 drive-through penalties for, I think, a Ferrari and a Red Bull in RSL Silk and S8 both picked up drive-through penalties. An excellent start, I think, there from Imarshy to get up a few places. Pentita's dropped down. Imarshy's lost a few. He's crashed at the back along with S8. That means that Pentita's made back up the place that he lost at the start. RSL Silk has retired from the session. He's hit the barriers and already a virtual safety car is out. Absolute carnage at the start of this race. And luckily enough for the guys to be able to another drive-through. That's 2 drive-through penalties for S8. And that's not the start he would have wanted. But a virtual safety car is out early here. And the people who've got the best starts, we look here from positions gained. Random Kitty's made up 5. Essence Acid up 1. Beander's lost 4. Marshy lost 2. Pentita and Magnus both made up 2 for Beander's big loss. Marshy looked to have gotten such a good start and then spun the car, and S8 has remained where he played as we're back underway yet again. 2 drive-through penalties for S8. RSL Silk retired from the session. We're go again though, and Random Kitty is getting nice and close to Pentita there and could truly get onto the back end, try and make an overtake here. Hasn't done the podium since season 1 of Tier 1, and he's hoping to at least get on a podium here of Tier 2 this season. Random Kitty, as he heads around the final corner now, and he's going to use some of his DRS to get away. Now Beanders and Imarshy and SA all into the pits, more than likely with wing damage, as Random Kitty is going to try and line up a move. He's just a bit too far back. We'll see how S8's pace is going to match with that. Suppose the S8 still has another drive through to serve. He's served one, he has to serve another. And Random Kitty's already dropping back from Pentita there. And 2 Magnus is dropping a bit further back as well from J Crow. Just seems to be a little bit in control of his car, going through some of the corners, and could mean Pentita will get onto the back of him fairly quickly. We'll see whether or not that will happen. Oh, and that's 2 Magnus at the back. He's lost the car. Pentita's gone round him. Random Kitty's going to go round him. Oh, and Random Kitty's just hit into him. 2 Magnus has spun off. DRS enabled. So back going again, so S8 in to serve that other drive-through penalty. And Essence Acid seemed to have got a pretty good start here on lap 3. I think he's desperately trying to get in the DRS of Random Kitty's just a bit too far back though to get into the activation zone, and Pentita's already dropped 5 seconds, almost 5 seconds behind J Crow here at the moment, as Essence Acid heads through the chicane now. Gonna see what he can do now. Can he get onto the back of Random Kitty and try and make an overtake? S8's picked up a penalty for multiple warnings already. And I Marshy is getting a lot closer to B. Anders as well. Keep an eye on Essence Acid though, because he's right on the back of Random Kitty. And now with DRS, we'll see what the Ferrari can do. He's burning his ERS as well in a straight where you can't really overtake anyway. He needs to probably just try and sit back for now. See what the Ferrari can do. He's right on the back of the Williams now. Seems to be struggling. And he's gonna maybe even look to have a go into this corner here now. I mean, he's just take it safe, and both of them have. Random Kitty has a very high ERS storage, and Essence Acid seems to try to just be burning it almost immediately. And we'll see now as he heads now down the main straight, the back straight, the best overtaking opportunity on the track. He's not burning the ERS. Random Kitty isn't either, so they aren't really making any sort of progress on each other. And into the braking zone, it's still single file. 2 Magnus into the pits. I think B. Anders had a bit of a spin, or maybe he was into the... No, he probably had a bit of a spin. Bit of a bad one there, because he's lost out a lot there. And that's... Who's that gone straight on? That's B. Anders. Has gone straight on there. He's definitely not having a race to remember. And he's received 10 seconds for exceeding track limits. That'll probably be removed. So that should be all good. Essence Acid again, right on the back of Random Kitty here, as we watch them battle it out. Onto the straight now. Can Essence Acid go for it now? He's burning the RS. He has all of the DRS as well. And he's going to try go late on the brakes here. And he's gone round the outside of him. And he's up into the podium places. A great overtake from Essence Acid. We'll see now what he can do on Pentita towards the end of this race. B. Anders again having a bit of a spin. Random Kitty maybe letting that happen and gonna re-overtake him here. We'll see. He seems to just be struggling though and getting up the gears. He seems to be short shifting and not really gaining any sort of advantage, but Look at that straight line speed there from Random Kid. He's going to breeze back by the Ferrari driver. And he is straight back up into the podium places. Keep an eye on these two, whether or not they can bounce back. And there's B. Anders gone yet again. He's done a Charles Leclerc-esque spin. Not into the barriers though, but almost feels like it is for him. And he's going to come out right in this battle and picks up another 10-second time penalty. It's been a horrible first 5 laps here. B. Anders has brought out the safety car because of it. So now is this time. It's probably way too early for any of these drivers to think of pitting. It's going to definitely be nice for Marshy. He's going to get to catch up and get involved now with Essence Acid and Random Kitty, and we'll see what that'll all be made of. B. Anders retires from the session in the pit lane and is out of the race. We now only have 7 finishers as J. Crow now approaches the safety car. Be back with you in just a moment. J. Crow has picked up 3 seconds for exceeding track limits, and Pentite has picked up 5 seconds as well, which means Random Kitty at the moment is essentially in the lead of the race. Essence Acid P2, Marshy's still catching up, but they'll be P3. We'll see how long that is, if anyone will make some sort of threat to J. Crow now into turn 1. Lads at the back should be fairly pleased that they hopefully will be able to catch up. Safety car will probably be out one more lap after this before we can get going. Magnus back into the pit lane, serving his 5-second penalty, getting on the hards, and hopefully catching up before the end of this lap so we can get racing again. This is almost like Monaco, but a little bit better because I can kind of see that this is tier 2. These kind of were the standards I had. I just realised that everyone also came into the pits this lap for those mediums. I'm gonna try and maybe go till the end. We'll see whether or not that will happen or not. Oh, safety car's in this lap anyway, so we'll see whether or not 2 Magnus will catch up in time. He has just a bit of a lap to do, and I'm sure J. Crow will try his best to hold up the pack, not only to get 2 Magnus back into it, but also maybe just to hold off the guys, make it a bit more unpredictable. And we'll see now what will happen. Although he doesn't seem to be slowing down too much at the moment, he seems to be keeping at a fairly decent pace. And obviously the safety car does hit the pit lane a bit quicker than everyone else on this track, so he can start just a little bit earlier than normally will. He started already. Maybe he's just speeding up now to get to the final corner. A random kitty would want to try pick up the pace as well. Here we go now. 2 Magnus just catches up in time, and J. Crow is underway here for the restart of this race. Lap 9 now, and it looks like everybody is single file at the back, other than Essence Acid seems to be just a little bit closer to Random Kitty than the rest. A brilliant start from the AlphaTauri driver. He's already a good few car lengths ahead of Pintita, but at the moment is still gonna have to get a little bit further ahead in order to get away from the 3-second gap that he has to Random Kitty. See now, because Essence Acid obviously gets his ERS back again, and he's going to burn it all the way down the straight now, and he's gaining on Random Kitty here, but Random Kitty's also burning it back, which means that he's going to just have to sit behind for now. As we watch them go through the chicane now, Acid gets a much better exit here, and he's now again right on the back, but Random Kitty kind of burning that ERS. They both have very similar amounts, and as they head through turn 10, they're still kind of single file. S8 and Marshy having a wonderful battle here at the back of the track, and there's 2 Magnus spinning away in the background, and S8 trying to get by his friend in Marshy, but they're both keeping it clean at the moment. Essence Acid really is right on the back of Random Kitty here, trying to take back the podium place that he once had. And we'll see now, he's trying his very best, and now again look how close he is, literally rear wing to front wing, and Essence Acid in the slipstream with the ERS is going to pull to the outside. He's going to try it. Random Kitty's going to force him wide, but Essence Acid manages to keep it just a little bit more tidier than him, and yet again kind of gets the better exit out of that corner. It's great racing between the two here at the moment. For Tier 2, I wouldn't expect the standard this high. We'll see now as they head. Ooh, Essence Acid really close to almost smashing straight into the back of Random Kitty here, but he'll get one more chance now on the main back straight here, the biggest overtaking opportunity on the track. Still no DRS. He's not using the ERS either. He's kind of waiting for that better opportunity. And at the moment, is still just stuck behind that Williams car. Oh, and that's Marshy spinning off there at the chicane and is back down into P6. Now, this should be the lap of DRS activation. I think Essence Acid's going to be just very, very patient this time. He kind of uses ERS to get by him. He's trying to use ERS to get by him again here, but I think he's using his ERS to try and get by him here, and that's what he's going to more than likely try to do. Going to just wait, because now with DRS enabled, he's just going to be he's going to be patient, and he should be able to get by him and then have a bit more time then as well. Oh, but he runs a little bit wide. That's not going to help his adventures whatsoever, and Random Kitty is going to get a better exit. Now he has the DRS activated. Oh, he's gaining a lot here, Essence Acid, and he may just line up a bit of a dive down the inside possibly. He hasn't decided to do that. He's going to just stick tight. Pentita kind of keeping up a little bit with J Crow. I think J Crow just a little bit faster. He's really has been racing quite fast at the moment, J Crow. Essence Acid is, and his battle with Random Kitties really is the battle to watch here between these two. I think what Essence Acid really does need to do in this situation is just kind of relax and stay behind the Williams car until he gets that better run out of what turn is that? Get a better exit out of turn 7 and maybe get the move done, because he clearly is faster, but he's stuck behind a really good defender of his position, and it's almost allowing now his teammate to catch up in S8, which could say is good, but at the same time you might not be too happy with it if you're in Essence Acid's position to have the pressure of your teammate right behind you. But he's going to have another go here now. He's almost completely drained the battery, and Random Kitty's got a lot left in storage, and luckily there's no flashing red lights on the front of the Ferrari car, but he's going to go for it here because Random Kitty left a gap, and in doing so has got a 3-second time penalty here for corner cutting. Essence Acid got the move done, but Random Kitty's going to go back for it now into turn 10 and has retaken the position. Essence Acid must be absolutely infuriated in his helmet under the visor, because he is just stuck behind a human car park, and he's going to try maybe send it now into turn 12. Can he get it done? I think he has this time. I think that's an excellent move from the Ferrari driver, and he's up in the P3, but can he take it? Because next up is another long DRS straight, and Random Kitty is going to have the DRS, is going to have the slipstream. He's going to get right in the back of the Ferrari. He's going to go for it possibly. Almost crashes straight into the back of him, but it seems like Essence Acid has managed to defend himself well. But yet again, I don't think Random Kitty really deployed much ERS here. He's going to just hopefully try and stay patient. He's right on the back of Essence Acid, and we'll see now as they head round turn 6 and 7. Whether or not he can get the move done. He's burning his ERS. He's using a lot of it here. Essence Acids ran out of ERS to defend, but now both of them have flashing red lights on the back of their car, meaning that both of them are pretty much even as far as ERS goes. Random Kitty still having the majority, but could just mean next time Essence Acid does get the move done, it's going to be a little bit easier to defend, because we know around France it's really hard to maintain ERS, so when you do use it, it's very hard to get it back. We'll see here, because Essence Acid's going to have one more chance now to overtake the pit straight. He's done it before, he's going to try and do it again. What can he do? His teammate in the background is just kind of staying with them at the moment, and Essence Acid isn't quite, he has his DRS activated, but he isn't quite going to go for it. Yeah, he is obviously going to wait for that main opportunity out of turn 7 to turn 8. See now, out of turn 6 they go. We'll ride on board with Essence Acid out of turn 7 now. Hasn't quite got the exit he would have liked, but with DRS, Slipstream, all the power he has, just doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. But he's going to get nice and close to the Williams driver yet again now out of turn 9. What can he do? Heading down to the non-braking fast right-hander of turn 10 as Marshy picks up another penalty. That puts his total up to 9. He's having definitely a race to forget round here. Into turn 11 they go. Oh, brilliant exit there from Essence Acid. He's going to maybe try a round the outside here. This could be a brilliant move. Maybe go for a switchback. He's going to try it here on Random Kitty, who's just defending really, really well. And it's almost impossible, but as Essence Acid just seen there, they're both on pretty much the same ERS, and Essence Acid's picked up a 3-second penalty for warnings. They're both even now, and Essence Acid with the DRS is going to gain now. Both with almost the exact same ERS means that Essence Acid should get the move done into turn 1. They're side by side. He's gone for it. He's kind of almost cut the track, but he's got the move done. You'll probably get a warning for that. And he is up into P3. Can Random Kitty get the move back on the Ferrari driver? He seems to be falling a bit off. All that battling has left S8 to possibly get involved in the drama. And Random Kitty is just way too far back now from Essence Acid to make a move down into turn 8. Going to try, but he's going to just outbrake himself, and he's going to have a poor line going through turn 9, and Essence Acid's only going to get further and further away after something like that. These two almost have exact same pace, and they are I'm loving this battle at the moment. It's definitely the complete opposite of what Singapore and Portugal was. It was the complete opposite of yesterday as well in Monaco. I was expecting a strategy masterclass in Monaco, but it turns out the drivers in Tier 1 still aren't ready to race around Monaco without all absolutely hitting the barriers every second lap. So it's definitely not something I will be rushing to put back in the calendar, at least till F1 23. But here's Random Kitty right back and continues his battle with Essence Acid. Ferrari versus Williams. Haven't seen a battle like this since the 90s. And at the moment, that battle is very, very interesting. Into turn 1, Essence Acid still in the lead. And obviously with the battling continuing, Essence Acid now 10 seconds behind the rest of the leaders means that it's pretty much between Pintita and J. Crow on who's going to make the mistake first. And considering Pintita's 8 seconds of penalties, it's looking like it's going to be a lot worse for Pintita. Hi, Marshy, who's one at the moment. Oh, and here's Random Kitty, and he's right back up into P3. He's back up into the podium places here on lap 16. I was just about to comment. Oh, and that's Essence Acid, I think, going very, very deep into turn 7 and definitely not helping his track limit warnings. I'm guessing he got a violation there. Didn't, surprisingly, but SA has picked up another penalty himself, and Essence Acid have picked up a lot of penalties today. Or not Essence Acid, Marshy, and considering Marshy was clean up till recently, I think it's his battle with 2 Magnus. It's kind of not helped the fact. And Essence Acid is ahead of Random Kitty, and Random Kitty's into the pits. I was wondering what happened there. Random Kitty into the pit lane. Only 9 laps could do on those tyres, and Pintita's also into the pit lane. Now I wonder what the idea of this is now. Do they really have to pit? Pintita served his 5-second penalty. Random Kitty's picked up one for speeding in the pit lane. Now, they're back onto mediums, and they obviously started on hards. Now, knowing Essence Acid's normal strategies, I have a strong feeling this guy's going to try and go till the end on those mediums. When did he pit? Lap 7? 20 laps? I could say it's possible. He's going to lose a lot of time though to the guys, but considering how far behind Pintita is, it's more than possible for the Ferrari driver on his tyre management, although you can see the tyre deg on the front right there, the reflection off the sun. Marshy may try do the same, but obviously 7 seconds ahead. We'll see what he can do on these hards, 12 lap old hards. Can he go an extra 10 laps and maybe get a podium if 2 Magnus makes a mistake? But sadly, with Random Kitty pitting, it means that that battle that we were all enjoying has kind of came to a stop, and Essence Acid isn't going to try his mad strategy that he tried in Britain and go till the end. He's also into the pit lane. Now this is going to be interesting to see whether Random Kitty has got an overcut or not on him. Onto the fresh mediums, Essence Acid goes. Yeah, he has no penalty to worry about either. I'll see, I'm guessing the hard tyres guys are going to try and go till the end now. Pintita obviously getting past with his serving his penalty, and I think Random Kitty is also going to get by. I think he just about is. And Essence Acid, look how close they are, right on the back of him. This is amazing. Essence Acid a lap fresher tyres here. It's a 3-way battle now, because SA has well and truly got involved with all this drama. And look how wide Random Kitty's gone. Oh no, never mind, that's just a visual glitch. Still, the battle continues. This time somehow Essence Acid now has more of the ERS, and obviously with the better tyre wear, and I think he's got a much better exit there now, could possibly line up a move down as 2 Magnus has a spin down into turn 7. Will he try it? He won't. He's gonna normally brake, and that's 2 Magnus sitting there for a long while, and that's the safety car out. Perfect timing for J. Crow, who's into the pit lane and is gonna come out well ahead of possibly even Marshy, and Marshy could also benefit big and come out maybe in with the battle of Essence Acid. What a race this has been, and it's going to be an interesting ending. J. Crow in on the fresh mediums, and he is already out. And where will Marshy come out now? He's in. He'll be in for the fresh mediums. He slowed down just about to the 60 kilometer an hour pit limiter, and Pintita's definitely going to go by now. Obviously he gets to cut the corner, so he's going to earn a bit of time. doesn't have any penalties to serve, but obviously his 12 seconds going to set him back. They'll be going similar speeds down the pit lane because of the delta, and Marshy is still going to be out behind, unfortunately. So no surprise for the McLaren driver, although he does have another chance now to get in and within the group of them. And I'm guessing more than likely Magnus is also going to come in for a fresh set of medium tyres. But at the moment it's J. Crow still leading the way, with Pintita and Random Kitty taking up the other two podium places, but two roaring red Ferraris right behind Random Kitty, who will be battling. And obviously Random Kitty also, with his penalty, is going to set him back.
I love your crocodile lighting.
Now, I'm no geography expert, but since I have left and come back, it looks a lot darker on the track, and when I ride on board, it definitely does. Now, no raindrops as of yet, but it could be an interesting end to things here. I don't know whether or not it will start raining or not come the end of this Grand Prix. Now, obviously no one's gone in for tyres yet. The safety car more than likely will be in this lap when 2 Magnus catches up. So, what will happen? Will it rain? Will it not? Is anyone going to gamble if it does? We don't know. But as 2 Magnus now comes around turn 11, the safety car is in this lap, so if there is rain forecasted, you'd want to make your pit stop probably around now. We'll see how heavy it gets if it does, but it looks very, very dark here on the broadcast display. This could be an amazing end to things here, but we're go here for the restart, the second restart of this race, and Essence Acid yet again gets a great getaway ahead of Random Kitty at the start there. Well, actually behind, but trying to get ahead of J. Crow. Again, an amazing getaway at the start there. Already almost a second ahead. Essence Acid at this stage. Oh, he's hit into him. It's a crash. Oh, there goes the podium. Random Kitty too easy on the brakes, and he's spun round by Essence Acid, and both of them have now dropped out down to P7. S8 somehow amazingly up into the podium places, but obviously with all the penalties I think Essence Acid is probably back up into P3 anyway. We'll see now. 21 laps left, or 21 laps in, 6 to go. Marshy, although with his 15 seconds of penalties, is still essentially fighting for a podium here. Now with all his penalties, probably going to end up dropping him back to last anyway, but we'll see what he can do. In the McLaren, the OG days for himself, he scored some amazing finishes in the McLaren, almost getting his podium, his Tier 1 podium in Britain. As J. Crow sets the fastest lap of the race, he's been totally dominant and could really walk into this title fight now when we head to Netherlands next week. But it's Marshy chasing down S8, and again, now with 5 laps remaining, or 6 laps remaining now, it's looking very, very very spicy. Essence Acid, I think, may have a bit of front wing damage from his collision with Random Kitty. And that does mean if we keep an eye on leader here, because it's the closest thing we have, as Marshy's gone for it, he's got the move done. Marshy up into the podium places here now, but S8's going to come back at him here as they battle right through turn 12 and 11. Oh, Marshy spun round, and it's a crash. He's hit into Magnus, and Random Kitty's got up through both of them, and Essence Acid round the outside as well. Both Ferraris having errors here at the end of this race. And I think Essence Acid in the end is a little bit lucky out of it, because it still remains he is on the podium. DRS is enabled, so Random Kitty and 2 Magnus start to battle. As Marshy, I thought he overtook there, he's into the pit lane. He's going to probably put on the soft tyres and see what he can do. He needs to make sure he doesn't go out 6 seconds of 2 Magnus, or there'll be another podium for the Aston Martin driver. 4 laps remaining, and it's still these guys dominating out in front. J. Crow with the fastest lap, and Marshy has almost made 2 seconds on it to try and beat it. It's going to be a very hard lap to beat. Now he should be able to, because it is around, in and around, a good bit slower than what his qualifying time was. Essence Acid falling very far behind at the moment, and it looks like it's not going to be another podium for the Ferrari driver unless something big happens at the end of this race. Marshy coming to the end of his hot lap, trying to take it off J. Crow and get an extra point along with his 6 at the moment. And we'll see as he heads to the line whether or not he's going to beat the 133.3. He won't. And J. Crow has picked up another penalty. Now maybe that could be the signal for Pentita just to get his foot down a little bit more now and get within those 3 seconds. It's going to be tough, but he has just under 2 laps to do it. Whether or not he can is the real question here. Random Kitty the same. Just 1 second, under 1 second he has to get in Magnus in order to be back on the podium since season 1. I'm sure he'd like to be, and I'm sure he's going to try his best. But Magnus seems to have some great pace today and possibly deserves it. But we'll see now. Can Pentita catch up enough with J. Crow? Can J. Crow stay ahead? Can Random Kitty catch up? It's all to play for here. The Ferrari's also battling. 2 laps to go here. Are they catching or are they not? Doesn't seem like Pentita's going to be able to catch up. He needs some last lap here if he's able to. And the same for Random Kitty. Marshy's only picking up more and more penalties, and it looks like he's not even going to have his fastest lap attempt successfully. Tavares' fastest lap attempt is a good one, but just not good enough to get to match with J. Crow. He definitely put that foot down to try and get further ahead, and he hopes he doesn't pick up another penalty or that race win, that first race win will get away from him. But as of now it doesn't look like it is. It's Ferrari's nightmare today. Everything going so well, and a bit of contact on the safety car restart when Essence Acid only had to just stay behind, and all of a sudden he's only going to be picking up a P5 finish rather than a podium. Magnus really showed what a comeback drive was made today. I think he was down in last at times, but really did truly show why he qualified P3, that he should always be there, and he's gone up and down the grid throughout the day today. But after 27 laps on the 27th, he is going to be the one to finish in P3 and stand on the podium. Pentita wasn't quick enough to close enough down to J. Crow. Marshy at one stage was almost on a podium, and he also ruined his chances along with S8. But today's day has been about the debutant of J. Crow 4. Came into this league, I think there's a bit of controversy in qualifying and could receive a qualifying ban once his footage is removed, but we'll not think about that at the moment. We'll think about that amazing drive out in front in the race, and as he rounds the final corner for the first time, he races in RSL. He wins a race. J. Crow, the winner of the French Grand Prix, and it's going to be Pentita to finish in P2. P3 is going to be 2 Magnus, a great comeback drive and a well-deserved probably driver of the day as he smacks into Pentita. Then after that, Random Kitty, not quite close enough, he also smacks into Pentita. Then it is Essence Acid, who does pick up 10 points anyway for the team, along with S8 behind in picking up 8. And then finally we wait for iMarshy to finish in 7th. So it's J Crow to walk out onto the podium. For the first time he races, he wins a race. Pintita in P2. That first race win still awaits him. He was begging for that to happen, and at the moment it's just not happening for him. But all good so far in the Tier 2 championship for him. Another 18 points ahead of back 2, and JRR could put him back on top. But it's another Dutch driver in the league, and he has rained down an absolute champion. Just like SLR Quattro in Tier 1, it's Dutch AlphaTauri Delight here in France, the French region. He wins the French Grand Prix. Pintita in P2 with 2 Magnus P3, Random Kitty P4, Essence Acid P5, S8 P6, Marshy P7, B Anders in P8 with RSL P9. They won't receive points for the DNF, but the rest of the guys will receive their points for finishing. It's been a brilliant race. I hope you enjoyed it, because for the amount of people that raced today, it was really enjoyable as a commentator, and I hope we have more of the same next week in Netherlands. Until then, I will see you then.